Yeah, welcome back. We'll be talking about the Nigerian Professional Football League Championship playoffs. Of course, we all know that Enyimba, they are champions, 8th time winning Nigerian Professional Football League via this championship, which everyone is clamoring for because they love it. But right now, we have someone to discuss this. You guys haven't seen him for a while. Okay, he's always on Sports Tonight, years back with Tony Bitoye and the likes. But right now, he's here in the studio. I'm talking about the editor of Sporting News editor of Sporting Life, Enyimba. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Good to see you guys. Yeah, me, Cecilia, doing a great job here.
Thank you. I mean, we're happy that you were able to make it down here, how early it is and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Now, let's start with the big one. Enyimba crown champions. I mean, the game was, I expected, it was a tough game, but somehow Enyimba were clinical. Or before we do that, we can confirmation of the result of what went down, match day 5. After everything, you have the likes of Lobby Stars, Enyimba not getting anything, and even Akwa United. But then there you have the result, Enyimba and Rangers, which was the first game. Rangers were rampant in this one, beating Enyimba, not winning a game coming into, I mean, all through the 5 days of match. They didn't win anything. Rangers beating them 4-2. Enyimba and Akwa United ended 3-0 in favor, of course, of Enyimba, the champions. And you have Lobby Stars and Kano Pillars. Despite the fact that they didn't have Rabioli, they were able to beat Lobby Stars by a lone goal. Let's talk about this one, Enyimba and, of course, Akwa United. We thought this game was going to be explosive, very competitive. It was, but Enyimba were just too good on the day.
Yeah. You don't expect anything less from Enyimba. In every season, they are always favorites. And, because they have pedigree, they have experience. In that team, you have somebody who has played in the CAF Champions League final.
Yeah.
Ibn Ebu Ekechukwu in 2009 against TP Mazembe. You have a goalkeeper that was at a World Cup in Brazil, Fatal Dauda. So you have, it's a team that has a lot of experience.
Collectively.
Collectively. And their coach is highly cerebral. He's a master's degree holder. So you don't expect anything from a team that has a coach that is cerebral, that has depth, and that comes out with good tactics. So for me, I always knew if Enyimba did not win, it would have been a big news. But the other teams too did not come to the party, especially Lobby Stars. Lobby Stars were very distant during the regular season. They played in the CAF Champions League and got to the group stages. A lot of talks about, the sudden demise of their coach, Solomon Ogbede. I think that's a factor too. But they didn't score goals. In fact, Enyimba that came last scored more goals than Lobby Stars.
Wow.
So maybe their strikers forgot their scoring boots in somewhere. And Akwa United too, we are a shadow of themselves. Yes, they started very poorly in the regular season. 5 games, they were having issues. But Raphael Everton was able to turn the fortunes of the team around, and they qualified as a top of that group in their group, and they came to this tournament with a lot of expectation, but I think they led their fans down.
Let me just chip this in, talking about Akwa United. It's Raphael Everton is an issue. That name has divided opinion. I don't know, but can we lay the blame on the blame of Akwa United not winning the Super 6? Can we put it on him? Because people will quickly tell you they have expensive players, the best collection of players and all that. But can we put it at his foot?
Yeah, he's the coach of the team. What is the role of a coach? You prepare the team, you select the best players, and you come up with tactics to win the game. And if you can't do that, then you have yourselves to blame. But if there are other issues behind the scene, we cannot readily confirm that, but because I learned that during the season, after 5 games, they wanted to sack him, but they were scared that taking that decision could affect the team, knowing fully well that in a brief season, you have to be very careful. When you sack the coach and bring in another coach, it could complicate matters. If you lose at home, you have to go and win away, and that was what he did. That was what he did. The first game against Academy, he lost to Uyo. Then he went to Yobe Stars. And defeated Yobe Stars. Remember that infamous thing when Yobe Stars supporters had to go and collect money that was allegedly given to the referee. So these are issues. But in football politics, you cannot really put your hand on what has happened, because I learned that the management wanted to sack him, but because he was able to navigate after 5 games. So the coach takes the blame, because if you are not given the necessary tools to work, you have to address the press and resign. But if you don't do that, then you have to take the blame.
All right.
Okay, let's get reactions from Enyimba now before we also get reactions from Akwa United. We didn't get to speak with Rafael Everton, but the assistant coach, of course, spoke. But let's get reaction first from Enyimba's coach, Usman Abdallah, talking about how they dreamt of and also prepared to win the league this season.
This year, the aim is to win the league, at the same time get back to the continent. Those are the two goals we set for the year, and we did it. We are happy to achieve those two things. It's a lot of hard work because at the end of last season, we were able to reinforce the team because we know that we've been overloaded in certain part of the department of the team. So we overhauled the team and tried to integrate them well. At the beginning, it was a little bit difficult because some of the new players found it very, very difficult to adapt. But later, with what we've been doing, I think the players responded well. And we're able, you can see at this, we have displayed a very, very rich team, which we're preparing for the 2020. So at the beginning of the season, it's all about preparing a team for the continent. So at the same time, by next year, I don't think we need to re-inject the team. So the same team will be moving to the continent.
Okay. All right. You want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, that's the coach of Enyimba, of course. You know, he talked about the fact that last season was a bridge where they were praying to win the league. I mean, it didn't happen, but this season they were able to get it, which was a good one for them. Akwa United also, the assistant coach has been reacting to the season and all that, talking about the fact that, look, they got this. I mean, they got good players and all that. They were just not lucky.
Okay, let's listen to the assistant coach having his say about what happened. A lot of people expected them to win. They spent the money. They did. But money can buy you wins. So let's listen to Bisiaka and Wendy, the assistant coach of Akwa United.
Though we came here with high hopes, I want to believe the boy did play very well today. The man was a good one. Just the difference is that we created chances, and I think with due respect to him, they made a better usage of the opportunities that came their way. So there's nothing we could do. That's football for you. I am very, very encouraged. I'm satisfied with the performance of the boys so far. We just have to go back and make amends where we see maybe we must have made mistakes along the line. I know we won a lot of quality games. We've made a very good performance over the years and over the weeks. So if we lose just this one, I really appreciate the boys. We sympathize with our supporters all over the country because I know they never expected this. But then we can assure them we're going to make amends in the ITO Cup. I believe up to this moment that we have a very good technical quality as far as Akwa United team is concerned. As I say, football is just a game of either you win, you draw, you lose. It has come out this way today. But all I'm saying here is with the team that we have on ground, honestly, guys, I can bet my mind that they have the quality.
And that's the obviously feeling a bit disappointed. And their only way back on the continent, because that's what they've always wanted, is through the ITO Cup. We have Enyimba, Lobby and Rangers, the top two, CAF Champions League, Rangers, CAF Confederation Cup spot. The only thing left is through the ITO Cup. But they say, I bet my mind, I bet, you know, obviously, he knows that they have good players.
Yeah, they have. And they have proved that over and over again. I don't really know what happened to them in this Super 6, you know. You see, we were saying it before, that it's a different ball game. Mm-hmm. The regular season and a bridge league, you know, some teams know how to manage. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult because you are playing a game in 2 days and you don't have a training session before the next game.
You don't have time to recover
so you need depth, you need a lot of depth, you know, to survive, to win, or to get something out of the Super 6. So I think that affected them. Maybe the recovery rate of their players, you know, they were not so fast to recover from the past game that they have played. So they can make amends through the ITO Cup. Like he said, there's still an opportunity, a window for them to get to the continent.
I just look at presentation of medals and trophies to, you know, Enyimba, their 8th title. You have Shehu Diko there, and of course, NPFL president, Amanchi Pinnick, all of them. And INC, I mean, this is the most successful club chairman you have in Nigeria. He's been there since 2010 or 2000? No,
so since 1999.
Wow. Oh. 20 years.
20 years. In fact, when he came on board, the team, Enyimba, were struggling. They were battling relegation. His management was able to stabilize. Okay. Then the following season, in 2001, I think so, they won the league. It was the Super 4 here in Lagos. They made champions
And
in 2002.
They leapt over Shooting Stars, Insurance, Rangers in terms of popularity.
Yeah. And if you also consider that they started winning 20 years ago, when other teams like Rangers, Shooting Stars have been winning before them. So you have to really give them a lot of kudos. Yeah.
Do you think that the chairman has really done enough? I mean, Enyimba, you talked about how big the brand is right now. It's the biggest brand we have in Nigerian football. They've won the Continental Championship twice, back to back. And
several in the semis.
You know, several in semis and all that. Since then, we don't have clubs that have really been able to be that successful. Have they been able to manage that success? I mean, I expect Enyimba to be bigger than this.
I think so too, but you have to also put things in the right perspective. It's a government club. There is a limit. If it was, in my opinion, a lot of people have said that's not an excuse, but you have to be deep, go deeper to know what happens in a government club, and sometimes it suffocates creativity, innovation. Look at ASEC Mimosas of Côte d'Ivoire. It's a privately owned club. They have structures. The Super Falcons camped in Sobeni before the last African Women's Cup of Nations. The Super Falcons, rather. The Super Eagles have also come there. These are structures that will sustain the club. So I think that the owners of this club should come up, like she said, like Cecilia said, Enyimba is a big brand. It should be the biggest club from this country. And from the fan base on Twitter, on social media platforms, they should be able to maximize, get structures, put structures in place so that this club can be self-sustaining. Right. They have the potentials of making so much money, much more than government is giving them. It's so sad. For me, it's a sad commentary. But I think there is still an opportunity if they can put on their thinking caps and do the right thing.
All right. So it simply means this club is actually commercially viable. But
Very
they're not
viable.
actually
Very viable.
putting in the works together.
On match days, you get more than 20,000 fans. You can do the calculations, and their jerseys are, they are beautiful. And, they can merchandise, they can leverage and get a lot of money.
Okay.
All right.
We hope they can do that. Now, let's talk about Rangers, of course. I mean, Coach Ogunboti, he's been talking about the fact that, look, it was like a lucky one for him because 6 of his big players were injured, so he needed to manage it for them to be able to, get to where they are. The good thing is
pick
they got a slot on the continent and all that. The game they played against Enyimba, this game was like, okay, 4-2 it ended, and towards the end of the game, I got tired of watching. Almost switching up because the players
like
were
a practice session,
and I was like, what's happening? Come on, give us more goals and all that. We saw USA scoring 13 against Thailand and all. So if you have a weaker team, ride on it and get something out of it. But
so you think it's mission accomplished? Like, is it mission accomplished for them?
Rangers,
yes.
Yeah, I think they, like you said, their top striker, Seka Pascal, a key player for them, didn't play this tournament. He got injured, and they had a lot of injuries too. To some, very players that were exceptional during the regular season. But when you start a season, you have pool of players, and you should be able to navigate. All other teams too had injury worries. Maybe their own, they had
not be as deep
as that of Rangers. But CAF Confederations Cup is not that bad. If you consider that the likes of Akwa United and Lobby Stars went back empty-handed. Yeah.
Okay, let's hear from Coach Gbenga Ogunbose, his reaction to the tournament.
We started the tournament on a low point, and we ended it in praise. Even though we are the mercy of the next game that is being played now. We had issues of injury. It was a serious one to the team, and it really reduced the strength of the team. But be it as it may, we've done the little best we could. Ever since my coaching career, I've never experienced things like this. It's difficult for me to present 6 players. Every game we played in pains. And I want to sincerely appreciate the management who, employed the services of a professional physiotherapist who is, trying to patch the team to enable us play games. But I think we came here with a notion of getting something better, to be precise, of getting the league shield. But unfortunately, we ended with 8 points.
8 points. That's how they ended. Maybe we can just take a look at what the table
part of
is
that
really
first
like.
half. Let's take a look at
how we
the
have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. We can look at the table with Enyimba, of course, finishing top, and you have Canopilas second, and you also have Rangers third, and you have Akwa United. Well, not a good one.
Better luck next time.
Better luck next time. This is what it's looking like. I mean, for Enyimba, they lost one game, and they ended up winning. Then Canopilas, they didn't lose a game. Yep, but second, draws. That was the reason, 2 draws. Then you have Rangers, okay, there. And Akwa United. Akwa United actually lost one game, just like you have Rangers. But the difference is the draws were so much. 3 drawn games. And the only game they lost was to the champions. Not a good game.
On the final day.
On the final day. 3-0. Okay, I'm sure they were tired, and that's how it happened.
Okay.
Let's leave the championship. Still staying with the championship.
But we want to talk about the sore part.
The sore part of it.
The part that's
heartbreaking.
You know, look, for all of us that talk about the domestic league, for all of us that have clamored for a lot of things to be done, it was a day that you just shake your head and say, why did all of this happen? Canopilas. What was your reaction when you saw what we saw on TV?
Well, Yemi have been accused of trying to project the negative aspect. I got a call from the US, from a top official of LMC, you know, because of the story I wrote. Because I was actually at the stadium that day. My position is this. You see, we have to come hard on hooliganism. Yeah. You know, if we don't do that, to send a deterrent, a strong deterrent to people who try to foment trouble in our league venues, they will not stop it. These are not fans, these are criminals. So people have paid 200 naira to come and watch games. I heard of a woman that got her head broken. That was the first time the husband took her to the stadium. You know, these are sour points. It doesn't speak well. We're trying to get sponsors for our league, and this shouldn't happen. I mean,
just look at the referee running for his dear life, and these guys burst onto the pitch.
I mean, the first point is that the security was inadequate. Before the game ended, I think around 10 minutes to the end of the game, Pillars had a free kick, and we saw the assistant referee in the far side running to the center circle when they started throwing missiles onto the pitch. That should have been a wake-up call to the security men that the atmosphere.
The guy out of the guy who started it out of the stadium.
Yes, the atmosphere was already charged, and tried to contain that area. They didn't do that. Immediately, the referee blew the final whistle. Adebimpe Quadri. Rabiu Ali charged at him. That sent the wrong signal to the fans invading the pitch.
You know what? Because for the sake of balance, we'll listen to the LMC chairman, Diko. But you've seen the punishment. You've read about it. To you, is it enough?
Well, when you look at the punishment, you may argue that they cannot go beyond the rules. Do you understand? I think there should be adjustment to the rules as far as hooliganism is concerned, because it has not stopped hooliganism. These things have happened over and over again. Maybe point deduction. Have you asked yourself why these same fans do not foment trouble during the CAF Champions League or CAF Confederations Cup? Is it not easier to beat up foreigners? They behave themselves.
They know what's going to cost.
They know what will happen to the team. So that shows you that this hooliganism is well orchestrated. So if you come hard on a club, deduct 3 points, then they will behave themselves.
Not suspended deduction. I
mean,
you
do it straight away.
Right away. I mean, Canopilas had lost 3 points in this game. I mean, they won't finish second.
Absolutely.
They won't finish second. So the fans will know that they will behave
and they will
remember that they didn't lose anything.
They didn't lose. And they will remember it was this act of foolishness that cost us this. Okay, we leave it at that for now. We need to go on a break. When we return from that break, we'll still be on the matter and, of course, take a look at the papers. Join us again.